There are so many violations of the constitutions and the electoral law by IEBC and its chairman, as the case may be, and as a result of which, those violations constitute such severe illegalities and irregularities that the results announced ought to be nullified. We have pointed out, for purposes of the specific issues raised by the court, we want to dwell with issues number 6 to 9 that were identified by the court. And to sum up, because before we go to the exact issues, is we shall basically be talking about 3 violations before we refer to the conclusion. Now, the first issue is the fact that over 700,000 people who ought to have voted during the general election held on 9th of August were deprived of the opportunity to do so. Number 2, we shall be arguing that the third respondent, that is the Commission, contravened or violated its duty of accountability, transparency, and public participation during the 4 stages that we shall shortly be outlining, and in a manner that it declared the results of the presidential election. The third issue that we shall be referring to is the fact that the third and fourth respondents violated the procedure set out in Article 138 of the Constitution in discharging their mandate of tallying and verifying the vote at the Bomas of Kenya. I start with issue number 1. The constitutional basis for issue number 1 is Article 38 and 138A of the Constitution. And in this, we are referring to the number of people, 700,000 by our count, who ought to have voted and were deprived of the opportunity to vote. Now, what is a complaint? The complaint, members of the court, is laid out at paragraphs 56 to 60 of the petition, paragraphs 56 to 60 of the Constitution. And the supporting evidence is laid out in paragraphs 24 to 28 of the supporting affidavit sworn on 22nd of August, 2022. The long and short of those paragraphs is that the petitioners are basically saying that by virtue of Article 1 of the Constitution, the people's sovereignty is exercised in Kenya by 2 major methods: through voting, and collectively we only exercise that right during a presidential elections. And number 2, by voting in a referendum. Now, under Article 38, it is expected that the right to vote for a candidate of your choice is recognized. The same way under Article 138(3)(a) of the Constitution, voting at a place appointed by the IEBC by all persons eligible to vote. Now, on that basis, Regulation 90 of the Elections General Regulations Act, General Regulations 2012, were done under the Elections Act. Regulations 90 provides, is a short provision that I need to read, that the Commission may make provisions for the voting by election officials, observers, patients admitted in hospital, older members of the societies, members of the defense and security forces on duty, prisoners and nomadic pastoralists, and other persons who by reasons of any special need, including disability, are unable to access a polling station. 2, the Commission may from time to time publish notices on the manner and procedure of the conduct of special voting, and such notices shall be read as part of these regulations. So the long and short of it, but I want to tie up with the facts, in paragraphs